Hello, this is Raise Your Game, and I'm here, Olamiju. I'm going to continue on our topic for this moment, the second half of the year, as we make our plans toward December 31st to ensure that at the end of December 31st, we have good plans, we have good results, and we are able to raise our game from where we started in 2017. Remember that Raise Your Game is a personal development video blog that takes everyday ideas and turns them into breakthrough concepts to help people move from a point A to a point B in their journey of life. I started by talking about branding, and I said that branding is an important concept, and I started by saying that each person has to brand themselves and consider themselves as products, and I say that you consider yourself a product, and every product gets advertised. So in the initial last video, I spoke about branding yourself and talking about your appearance. We're going to go a step further and talk about how you communicate your content to other people, and that will mean your communication skills. Very important thing. Now, we are human beings, which means that one of the ways that we express ourselves or let people know we have is that we speak. We open our mouth and say something to them. And it's important that if you're going to brand yourself or get yourself to be known as someone who has content and who is able to, who is able to raise his or her game, you must be able to deliver your content in ways that are coherent, in ways that are clear, they are cautious, and they are correct. And that's very important. So one of the ways, so as we talk about branding with respect to communication skills, the first thing I want to say, which I believe that is one of the things that a lot of people do not do anything about, is their vocabulary. I need you to understand that you need to improve your vocabulary. Now, a lot of people are just, content with just using the everyday English words that they know or everyday words that they speak, and they feel that that is able to communicate whatever information they need to communicate. The truth about the matter is that when you have to speak up and raise your game, you would need to have a repertoire of words that you use to represent yourself, and you won't have to start hesitating and using words like actually, basically, and all of those things. You need to improve your vocabulary. I remember growing up in the 80s and the 90s, you found out that people used to read dictionaries to help them improve their vocabulary. People played Scrabble and all of that, and just to improve their vocabulary. I see that exercise is no longer something that is common in our environment. Everybody is so fixated on social media and all this paparazzi and stuff, but you need to improve your vocabulary. Get to read books. And I remember that back in the days, then there were Mills and Bones. I didn't read Mills and Bones, but I read other books, and in books you find a lot of information, a lot of words that if you check them up, you can add them to your vocabulary to help you pass across your message. But beyond that, beyond just being able to have a large amount of words in your vocabulary, you must understand that your communication skills is beyond just speaking and just vocabulary. Communication is a two-way street. You speak and you are spoken to. The active part, a lot of people, when they speak and they say whatever they have to say. But when it comes to the second way, the second part of the street, which is listening, people do not listen. Or when they listen just because they want to give a response. And that is not going to help your brand. Listen. Words are coined with heavy duty information. And behind every word is an emotion. If I tell you that I don't like what you have done, when I say to you, behind that expression is an emotion that tells you how I feel. And every time somebody speaks to you, it's either they are in the negative emotion or positive emotion, or it's a bland emotion. But you must recognize that. So when somebody speaks to you, you have to understand, is this person speaking from a point where he has negative emotions or has positive emotions, so that you will know how to respond accurately to them. You see, communication is important, and in developing and expressing your brand, you must know how to accurately communicate to other people. Improve your vocabulary. And how do you do this? Look, read books, read other things, but then volunteer to speak at events. Volunteer to speak at events. Volunteer to speak at functions. Many of us go for meetings, go for things, and we just want to just keep quiet and say, let somebody else talk. Listen, my friend, if you're going to improve your brand, you have to speak up. And you find out that when you try to speak up, things happen that you discover that, oh, I don't have the right word to express myself in this thing. Then you go find out better words and you're able to better express yourself. And the more you do this, the better you get at it. And in that way you improve your brand. Remember, we've spoken about appearances. The second thing is your communication skills. And if you're going to improve your brand in 2017, we're going to go into the meat of the matter of branding eventually, which is your content and your delivery. But before that, people get to see you, people get to hear you before they know what you have. And if you improve how people see you and improve how people hear you, then it's just going to be a walk in the park when you have developed yourself. So until I come your way again, remember, everything we're trying to do is that you raise your game so that 2017 can be a good year for you. Thank you. Till I see you again. Bye.